My name is Reed Yobe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Miles Monroe once said, you can't build your life on someone else's offer. Because if you build your life on someone else's offer, you are just as safe as how they feel. I want to talk to someone that is contemplating leaving their country of origin to another country. There is someone that is thinking of moving from their country of origin to another country. You see, there are quite a number of reasons why people would move from one country to another. Some people are pushed out of their own countries, not necessarily because they want to, e.g. wars and politics. But by every means, please try to stay where you are. I am sharing this message in the hopes that I might help someone who has never been out of their country of origin. There are reasons why you desperately want to leave your country. But my advice is, please stay where you are. There are quite a number of things that people do not consider. It's not everybody that is in a foreign land that is happy to be there. Some people are regretting. They say experience is the best teacher. There are people who were told in the same way I am telling you, but they did not believe. They only believed when they found themselves in the foreign land. One thing that you must understand is that it's not your country. It's not your country of origin. It's not your country. You don't belong there. And they have the right to not want you to be there, or even send you back. Or if you are to stay there, they can make you an offer. But whatever offer they make, you must take it as it is. But still, you must understand that it's an offer, and you are as safe as how they feel. And they can change their minds at any time, and they have got the right to do so. And you must take whatever that they are going to offer you after that, or you must go back if they tell you that they cannot continue to offer you what they were offering you. So I want you to consider how traumatizing it can be. There are people that are suffering right now, and it feels like those countries are being unfair, but that is not true. It's an offer that they gave you. You don't belong there. There are people that I know who stayed in foreign lands for years. Some stayed there for decades in foreign countries. Stayed there for decades. So I'm sure you can imagine that the person had established themselves. Some people were having businesses And some are having businesses as we speak in foreign countries because they've been there for years. Some, their children and grandchildren were born and raised in foreign countries. But you must know that you and your children and your grandchildren don't belong there. That country has got the right to take the offer back and say, go back to your country. But it feels like they are now being unfair. But you knew all along. It's just that you never thought it was going to happen. Because if whatever that you are having is a document, or rather permit for you to stay there, if it's renewable after a certain period of time, then it means that you must know that if whatever you're having is renewable, a time is going to come, a time might come when they will say, we cannot continue renewing, or rather we cannot renew this anymore. So it's not an easy life. It's not an easy life because regardless of how much you love it there, you must always remember that you must go back. It's almost like life and death. Everyone who is on this planet Earth, you know that one day you are going to die. Whether you like it or not, we don't belong to this planet Earth. A time is coming that we are going to die. Though we may not die, or rather though we don't die all of us the same day, but we die. So the same thing happens as far as just living in foreign land is concerned. If it is not your country of origin, you must know that a day is coming. A day is coming when you must go back home. So you might as well just help yourself by preparing so that you live, you plan how you're going to live, because it might happen at a time that is not expected, and it might feel like someone is being unfair to you. So if you are living in your country of origin, regardless of the problems that you may be facing, there is one thing for certain: no one is going to come and tell you to leave. You may be having problems, you may be having issues, but no one is coming to tell you that leave. No one is going to come and tell you that. So whether it is a traveler's permit, whether it is a work permit, whether it is study permit, or you are living in a country on asylum, or as a refugee, one thing that you know is that for as long as you are in a foreign land, a time is coming when you must go back home. And in most cases, it happens when you don't expect it to happen. And the worst thing that can ever happen is for there to be a change as far as the law is concerned. And the law says whoever that was legally allowed to be in this country, they are no longer legally allowed to be in here. There are people that are living with their families, and the reason you are allowed to be in that particular country is because maybe your husband is working. If it happens that your husband loses his life, or something happens to them, they become so sick that they can't work and they lose their job, that might result in you being forced to leave that particular country. And it might happen at a time that you don't expect. So the safest thing that can ever happen to you, as far as just your residence is concerned in a particular country, is for you to stay in your country of origin. So this is my advice. Work with what you have. Work with what you have. You see, there are countries that are struggling economically. There are countries that are struggling economically. And a lot of people are leaving those countries for what people may call greener pastures. But you know what? In those countries, there are people that are surviving. And there are people who are living a good life. Why? How does that happen? It all depends on the choices that you make, even more especially as far as careers are concerned. That's why in most cases I advise people, we're living at a time now when you don't ask your children questions like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I remember when I was growing up, those are the questions that we asked. What do you want to do when you grow up? But we cannot expect our children to do well if we are to ask them such a question. Because a child might say, I want to be a pilot when I grow up, and your country only has one aeroplane. How would you expect your child to survive? We are living at a time when you have to present a list to your child to say, this is the list that we have. Take from this list. And I gave an example at one time, and I said, farming, regardless of how difficult things are and how without regard to how your economy is struggling, everyone wants to eat. So if you're a farmer, you make it. If you're selling food, I don't care where people are going to get the money. Even if there is no money, people will always find money to buy food because they must survive. Maybe building, people must have shelter, somewhere to stay. Maybe your child might be a motor mechanic. Even regardless of how the economy is struggling, there are a couple of people that have got cars that are driving. So if your child does motor mechanic, they can stay in the country, work, and make money. So I hope I help someone. Once again, stay where you are. My name is Reed Yobe. Thank you.